Up next on The Bottom Line, a busy day as the County Council wraps up some bills that will tighten up current laws. A public-private partnership that after 15 years is alive and kicking and preserving one of Montgomery County's most historic areas. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. County Council President George Leventhal's term is winding down to a close, but county business continues to move ahead at a fast pace. At the most recent council session, members worked through a heavy agenda that included the passage of several new bills. The session included action on a number of bills that have been under consideration by the council over the past several weeks. One measure approved would require home sellers to test their homes for radon and provide those results to prospective home buyers.
It's just about making sure that the information is there. We never wanted to impede on the sale of the property. We never wanted to make it too expensive and make it a hindrance. What we wanted to do is just make sure that people had information. And my hope is that other jurisdictions will follow our lead, as we've done in a number of other instances where Montgomery County has been at the forefront of folks making sure that they have the right information to make the right decisions.
Another measure that received the go-ahead from the council would increase the fine for selling tobacco products to a minor to $1,000 for a first offense and $1,000 for any subsequent offenses. Councilmember Rice led the charge on this front, and all 8 of his colleagues signed on as co-sponsors.
These tobacco products, again, while we're seeing the infusion of e-cigarettes and others, the reality is that folks are still smoking. And unfortunately, some of our minors are still smoking as well. And they're being sold these products by vendors who just really aren't adhering to the law. And so we wanted to make sure that the penalty reflects the seriousness of what they're doing.
Also on the agenda, a discussion on factors that are driving the costs of government. Council President George Leventhal scheduled the review as a precursor of a possible tax increase next fiscal year.
I feel that before we contemplate increasing property taxes above the charter limit, council members should really come to grips with those factors that make county government as expensive as it is. Some of them are factors within our control. Some of them are factors that are out of our control, such as rising enrollment in the schools, certain mandates that the state has placed upon us, like maintenance of effort and the pension shift, and the recent decision by the U.S. Supreme Court in the Wynn versus Comptroller case. In either event, whether we agree to a large property tax increase or whether we don't, we will need to understand what are the circumstances that lead us there, and we will need to explain it to our constituents.
The council will recess next week for the Thanksgiving holiday and will return to regular business December 1st with the election of new officers. Located in Germantown, the Maryland Soccerplex opened to the public in 2000. The complex is not only a top-notch facility for athletes from across our region, but there is a bottom line. The Soccerplex has also been a boon to Germantown and the county's economy.
The tournaments are really a great opportunity for them because we have so many college coaches.
Back in the mid-1990s, Trish Heffelfinger and a group of soccer parents decided they were ready for a game changer, a multi-field soccer facility where kids could play on some of the best fields in the country. Led by county residents John and Maureen Hendricks, the group formed the Maryland Soccer Foundation, and the rest is history. As a result of that effort, the Maryland Soccerplex is celebrating its 15-year anniversary.
You know, I would say the Soccerplex is probably better than I imagined it 15 years ago.
But to say the idea for the Soccerplex was met with enthusiasm would be misleading. The project became somewhat of a political football.
People forget that this was pretty controversial at the time. You know, this was kind of a sleepy rural area. All the new homes were coming. There was a lot of concern over that, and we were just the icing on the cake. It was like one more thing.
Final score, Keystone Penn Forest United 2, WN1/Academy 1.
But the group refused to watch from the sidelines. After more than 2 years of briefings, discussions, and 25 public hearings, the project was finally approved.
Yay! All right.
Today, the Maryland Soccer Foundation and Discovery Sports operate and maintain the facility. The property is leased from the Parks Department, and to this date, the county has chipped in about $19 million. This is a public-private partnership. Talk about how that has worked over these past 15 years.
The neat thing about this story is really how everybody came together to get it built. You know, we had the benefit of a wonderful benefactor in John and Maureen Hendricks, whose vision was really this 24-field complex. And they wanted to give something back to the county that was special. And that is always in the back of our mind. Are we meeting their vision? And then we brought the soccer community in. And then we went to Park and Planning and to the county to develop a public-private partnership.
Today, the Soccerplex has 3 artificial turf fields and 19 grass fields. It occupies about 150 of the 700 acres of the South Germantown Recreational Park. One of the things that sets the facility apart from others in the nation is those high-quality fields, the responsibility of Ryan Bjorn. So are all of these fields irrigated? They look really green. I know we've had a lot of good rain, but do you have to irrigate every one of them?
They are all, we have an in-ground irrigation system on every field in the complex. And aesthetics is a big part of what people love about grass. They love going to a baseball game and seeing the field striped up, or they love going to a soccer game and seeing the pattern on the field. To be honest, aesthetics is somewhat secondary to what we're doing. What's really important to us is that we present the most safe and playable surface for all of our users. From the little kids all the way up to the professionals, we want the safest, most playable surface we can.
Where are you from?
Wallingford, Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful complex. I wish we had this back home.
My daughter wants to move here. She said these fields are amazing.
Another employee at the Soccerplex responsible for those pristine fields is Boyd. And tell us about Boyd and how does he fit into the staff here at the Soccerplex?
Geese love this type of area. They are detrimental to field quality because of the droppings they leave behind. You know, they're always picking at the grass for food. And so his natural instinct is to go after the geese. If there are geese on a field, he will chase after them on command, and he'll track them from field to field all the way around the complex until he can't see them anymore.
Boyd serves as the honorary mascot for the Washington Spirit, a National Women's Soccer League franchise. In 2013, the Spirit made the Maureen Hendricks Field home turf, making them the only professional team to call Montgomery County home. But there is so much more than just goals being scored at the Soccerplex. The facility is scoring big in the area of economic development for the county. 650,000 people visit the Soccerplex each year, and it's estimated last year the Soccerplex pumped in more than $24 million into the local economy. Heffelfinger even sends local businesses a copy of their calendar so they can plan for the crowds.
They will tell you that they get a 15 to 30% bump in business. If you go down to the Washingtonian Rio Center on a tournament weekend, you'll know the impact that we have because it is just teeming with soccer players. They come to our community, they stay in our hotels.
Marriott Residence Inn. Beautiful. We have probably 3 teams staying there, so we have taken over the entire hotel. And we ate at Joe's Crab Shack last night.
They buy our food, they shop in our malls, and then they go home. You don't have to build schools for them, you don't have to build roads for them. They just spend their money and walk away. Doesn't get any better.
Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Montgomery County Council recognizes the extraordinary efforts of the Maryland Soccerplex.
Recently, the Soccerplex was awarded Best Hospitality Company by the Montgomery County Department of Economic Development.
Congratulations.
And last year, the Hendricks Field won Professional Field of the Year. Ryan Bjorn told us the Soccerplex has reduced its use of pesticides by 75% over the past 5 years, all with the goal of keeping kids safe.
For the most part, this place is essentially closed from Monday to Friday, so we'll try and apply on a Monday and not have anyone out until the following Saturday.
So what does the future hold for the Soccerplex?
We are in the middle of constructing our last 2 soccer fields in the complex.
The last 2 grass fields are in the process of being constructed with the latest technology in drainage, which will extend their life. And Heffelfinger says they want to look at safety and health as they move forward. But most of all, making sure any child who wants to play soccer can, and guarantee they are having fun while they are doing it.
Maybe we develop a program that's more of what we did, which is you just get together with your friends and you have a ball and you play. And we're looking into that.
And if history is any indicator, the Soccerplex will continue to turn green into gold. Sandy Spring has strong historical ties to Underground Railroad activity. The stone barn on the property will be unveiled as the new visitor center in just a few months. The center will pay tribute to the Quakers and Underground Railroad experience in Montgomery County. And some lucky council members got an early glimpse of this county treasure. On Friday, November 6, Montgomery County council members and their staff were treated to a sneak peek of the newly restored Woodland Stone Barn Visitor Center in Sandy Spring.
And take you back in time to what was...
Besides bringing a significant historical structure back to life,
This is a unique community.
the carefully researched exhibits introduce visitors to the history of this heritage area.
So when people come to the Woodland Stone Barn Visitor Center, they will learn about the Underground Railroad, the Quaker heritage within especially the Sandy Spring, Brookville area, as well as becoming introduced to some of the agricultural practices of the Palmers during the mid-1800s. The barn is also the trailhead for the Underground Railroad Experience Trail guided hikes, which are conducted seasonally.
That's Cheryl Spicer, museum manager for the Parks Historic Resources Division. She explains the reason for the tour.
Come on through.
We wanted to introduce them to the barn. They've heard a lot about it. They've seen a lot about it. We are still looking for support to move the project forward, get staffing that we'll need to open it on its full-time schedule next year. So, and really to excite them, get them excited.
And it seemed to work. Councilmember Sidney Katz and Nancy Florine expect this new space to attract visitors of all ages.
Well, this is an educational experience that every one of us, regardless of what age we are, should come and see it.
I'll help y'all any way I can, but it's hard to get straightened out.
I knew that the Sandy Spring area had an underground railroad. I didn't realize it to the degree that it did, and I didn't realize that there were Quakers that owned slaves. It never dawned on me.
Woodland Manor here really nails it in terms of explaining the Quaker heritage, the evolution from a tobacco-based economy to an agricultural-based economy, and the challenge of what was a slave-owning community.
The information that you're receiving is in a way that's actually entertainment as well as educational.
The building itself is part of the story. Dating to 1832, this three-story stone bank barn served the plantation that once operated here. Its carefully planned restoration has created a backdrop that integrates seamlessly with the displays.
We have taken this historic structure and mixed a little of the old with the new, with some innovative, new 21st century technology to only complement the beauty of the structure itself.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me.
To give them a little wow, but to walk away and understand that this is a gem within the county as the historic structures go.
And as Councilmember Florine notes, county residents don't have to travel far to appreciate this local history gem.
And this bucolic setting, not too far from our really densely populated communities, is a real place of respite and also a great place of history. And the new program here is really going to knock everybody's socks off in terms of its modern presentation of issues that are really important to us and to our future.
The Woodland Stone Barn Visitor Center is due to open to the public in the spring of 2016. Check the Montgomery Parks website for more information. Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.